Welcome to Just Torah, the channel that's about reading the Torah and getting a basic understanding of what it entails, especially for those that believe in keeping the laws, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of Yah. Let's begin. Numbers chapter 30, verse 1. And Moses spoke unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Yasharel, saying, This is the thing which YAHUAH has commanded. Verse 2. If a man vow a vow unto YAHUAH, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. If a woman also vow a vow unto YAHUAH, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she has bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she has bound her soul shall stand. Verse 5. But if her father disallow her in the day that he hears, not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she has bound her soul shall stand, and YAHUAH shall forgive her, because her father disallowed her. And if she had at all a man or husband, when she vowed, or uttered aught out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her man or husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. Verse 8. But if her man or husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of no effect, and YAHUAH shall forgive her. Verse 9. But every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their souls, shall stand against her. And if she vowed in her man's or husband's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her man or husband heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. Verse 12. But if her man or husband has utterly made them void on the day that he heard them, then whatsoever proceeded out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand. Her man or husband has made them void, and YAHUAH shall forgive her. Verse 13. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her man or husband may establish it, or her man or husband may make it void. But if her man or husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he establishes all her vows or all her bonds which are upon her. He confirms them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. But if he shall anyways make them void after that he has heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. Verse 16. These are the statutes which YAHUAH commanded Moses between a man and his woman, or a husband and his wife, between the father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house. That is the end of the reading of Numbers chapter 30. I hope you got a better understanding of how Yah handles vows or promises that you make towards him. He will reveal his truth to you. Let's believe. The more you study, the more you read, you will see how his word starts opening up to you. That is his spirit revealing his word and his truth to you. So I pray you continue to be blessed. I pray you have Yah's mercy and his peace and his love. And his love means obedience. and shalom.